1.
Ender's Game Academic Essay. We can't be afraid of change. You may feel very secure in the pond that you are in, but if you never venture out of it, you will never know that there is such thing as an ocean, a sea. Holding on to something that is good for you now may be the very reason why you don't have something better. Courage is a key trait exhibited by many characters in Ender's Game. Courage is defined as the ability to do something that frightens one. It can also be bravery or nerve. Courage is what makes society function as well as it does, because if no one has the courage to make change, then society does not exist. Change makes everything work because otherwise, nothing gets better or worse, it just grinds. Confidence, leadership, and intelligence are several ways that Bean is courageous in Orson Scott Card's Ender's Game. Bean is a courageous character because he shows confidence in everything he does. Ender's thoughts after Bean is being insubordinate to Ender. Ender tried to decide whether to like the kid for refusing to take concession or to be annoyed at his insubordinate attitude. Bean is courageous because he is not afraid to try new stuff. He does not let people tell him he cannot do something because he is less experienced. It does not matter if he is short or young. He wants to prove himself because he wants to be a toon leader. Ender notices that Bean is confident and likes it, but it also annoys Ender that Bean does not adhere to directions. After Ender tells him that he can be a toon leader once he can prove himself to Ender, Bean says, "That's fair. If you actually work that way, I'll be toon leader in a month." Bean shows Ender that he will never back down. Because of this, Ender knows that Bean is an exceptional learner and is great at everything he does. Confidence is demonstrated by Bean when he says, "I can be the best man you got, just don't play games with me." He has the courage and confidence to go up to a kid 4 years older than him and say that he has the best man they got, which is the honest truth. The way Bean talks comes off as confident and not arrogant. Bean is younger than everybody, which puts less pressure on him to be great, so he can just do his best and not worry about mistakes. Bean is a confident character in Ender's Game. Leadership is a characteristic that makes Bean courageous. I need you to be clever, Bean. I need you to think of solutions we haven't seen yet. I want to try things that no one has ever tried because they're absolutely stupid. What if I can't think of anything? Then I was wrong about you. You weren't wrong, Bean grinned. Ender is tired, so he is putting pressure on Bean to be a leader. Bean shows an example of courage by stepping up to the challenge instead of running away from it. He could easily just say, "I'm too young," or "I'm not experienced enough," but Bean decides otherwise. This act of courage goes along with the generalization courage or acts of courage bring benefits to large groups of people because the dragon army is positively influenced by Bean's display of courage. He thought of half a dozen ideas before he went to sleep. Ender would be pleased. Every one of them was stupid. And then the twine caught him, changed its direction abruptly, and swung in an arc that crashed him brutally against the wall. Bean said he was going to meet Ender's request, and he did. Seconds after Ender had told him what to do, he was already working on it. This is not just an example of how much of a leader Bean is, it also shows that he is a hard worker. The loyalty and dedication of Bean to the Dragon Army might be the reason why they are undefeated. Bean is an incredibly strong leader. Intelligence is another reason why Bean is courageous. "That's what frozen means," said Ender. "But what happens to you?" It was Bean, not intimidated at all, who answered intelligently. "You keep going in the direction you started in, at the speed you were going when you were flashed." Even in the text, it mentions how Bean is intelligent. Bean is not afraid to show his intelligence because if he cannot communicate his ideas, then how is he supposed to learn or help other students? The text also mentions how Bean was not intimidated to answer Ender's question in front of a bunch of older kids. Ender put on the headset. "Salam," said a whisper in his ears. "Alai, and me, the dwarf, Bean, and Petra and Dink and Crazy Tom, Jen, Hot Soup, Fly Molo, Karn Carby. All the best students Ender had fought with or fought against. Everyone that Ender had trusted in battle school. As Ender is about to participate in his first simulation, he discovers all the people from battle school that he liked, Bean being one of them. If Bean, as a 6-year-old, is considered one of the best students from battle school, then he must be very intelligent. Being part of this group allows him to help Ender kill the buggers, which is a very monumentous feat. Bean is an extremely intelligent person for his age. Opinions of Bean differ from person to person. Ender thinks that Bean is an incredibly good soldier and catches on to things very well. Bean is kind of like Ender himself. Bean sets a very good example for Ender. The other kids in Dragon Army think that he is a know-it-all, and that he thinks he's smarter than everybody. They don't really like him at the beginning. The commanders and officials like him, and that's the reason why they chose him to fight the buggers. They saw evidence that Ender liked Bean. Bean has countless positive traits to help him succeed in being a soldier. There are many places in the book where Bean exhibits courage. He does it by having confidence, being a leader, and having intelligence. Bean's characteristics help Ender and the rest of his squad defeat the buggers. Even in the bugger wars, Ender's squad was always outnumbered by thousands, even millions, as they were in battle school. In the end, Bean is a courageous character who plays a key role in Orson Scott Card's Ender's Game.